Hey, Green Frog here. I just finished my season 11 recap of Doctor Who, and after doing that, I feel like maybe I should review a couple more movies since my room is basically full of DVDs at the moment that I've watched. And I want to start with the movie that I like very much, and a movie that did have a pretty big impact on me the first time I watched it, and that movie was District 9. Now, I'm a massive science fiction fan. I just cannot get enough of sci-fi movies. I'm a sucker for sci-fi, basically. It's behind action and comedy. It's basically my third favourite genre, or in that top three circle of genres. And District 9, to me, is one of the most realistic, powerful, emotional sci-fi tales, basically. And I wanted to talk about it. And I will be going into spoilers, so yeah, if you haven't seen this movie that's been out for over a decade now, definitely see it. But only if you're only over maybe 13 or 14, because, it's MA15 in Australia, in America. They're basically the same thing, sort of. But anyway, it follows the story of a man called Wickes de Van Vern, who is basically a patrol officer in a fictional slum called District 9. And this slum basically harbours this alien race that came down one day on this very, very drab, kind of not that great looking spaceship. And they're malnourished, they're borderline mentally ill, they fight against each other. They're basically just lost and confused. I mean, they can still do things, but you can see that there's something wrong with them, or they have some sort of disease. Anyway, he's just a guy who just walks around District 9, knocks on these aliens' doors, and just kind of gets them to sign permits and just make sure that everything's running smoothly and no criminal activities going on. That's basically who he is at that point. But then he discovers this cylinder, this weird vial in someone's house, and black stuff sprays all over him. And basically from that point in the movie, you know that something bad is going to happen to him. And yes, something really, really bad starts happening to him. I'm not going to lie, the first time I watched this movie, I was genuinely scared. For some reason, even though it's just a movie. Just the way, the realistic nature it was shot, the first 40 minutes does feel like a documentary-style news story. That's the way it looks like. Then all of a sudden, the tension starts to get darker and darker. Things feel really on edge, like the anxiety really starts to build. Wickes starts vomiting, his nails start coming off, and then he vomits all over his birthday cake, and next thing you know, he's in hospital. And then they open his arm and they reveal, oh wow, he has an alien arm. And then things get really crazy. He gets smuggled off in a bag towards some weird government facility, and people start doing experiments on him. To the point where they force him to shoot aliens and try to rip out his heart, as well as all of his vital organs, while he's still alive and breathing. Yeah. The first time I saw that scene, I just thought to myself, wow. Wow, just, this is crazy. And that's kind of the reason why the movie's so good to me. It does not hold back on anything. It just shows what it wants you to show. And I like it for that. It made me feel something. And it actually did make me feel a bit scared, which is what I want from movies. I want movies to make me feel genuine emotions. And I feel like District 9 is one of the best science fiction movies that can do that. I probably won't get into the rest of the movie because if you haven't seen for yourself, just see it. Just see it. and you'll know what I mean. Even though I just spoiled the first 40 minutes of it for you, I'm sorry, but I warned you. Um, and he continues to become an alien, and he starts seeing the aliens in District 9 in a completely different light. Starts actually emphasizing with the aliens, and figures out what they actually want. And they want to figure out how to get back up into their ship and leave this planet behind and get back to their own planet. And it's a lot harder than you think. He helps this alien and his son try and get back up to the spaceship and go back home and call for help. And unfortunately for him, he has to. And he's transformed into an alien, and there's nothing much else that they can do. But I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to spoil the ending of this movie, because it is a good one. Definitely see it. I would give this movie a 9 out of 10. I do think it is the best, one of the top 3 sci-fi action films to come out of the 2000s. I mean, Avatar is also one of my favourite 2000s sci-fi movies, but of course that is very different to what District 9 is. Avatar is very pristine and very, very escapist, kind of fantasy-like. It's all about the escape and wonder of Pandora, and about the CG technology and, things like that. And I mean, it was cutting edge, but anyway. And District 9 was the exact opposite of that. It was very run down, it was dirty, it was grimy, it was bloody, it was gory. At times it was disgusting of just how terrible this place looked. But anyway, 9 out of 10, see it. You will not be disappointed. Bye.